Mother's Day is a day to celebrate our moms and everything they've done for us. But for some women, it can also be a painful occasion. Women who've lost children after birth or in miscarriage. Edmonton's Alexis Marie Chute is one of those women. She wrote a book about losing her child, Zachary, called Expecting Sunshine, a journey of grief, healing, and pregnancy after loss. In it, she talks about her grieving process and how she came through it to find hope again. Great to have you with us, Alexis.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
So thank you for being so open to talk to us about this. Can you tell us a little more about what happened with Zachary?
Yeah, so my first pregnancy with my daughter Hannah was one of those easy breezy times. And it wasn't until I got pregnant my second time and was about halfway through that we discovered that my unborn child had a tumor around his heart. And it was just like the kind of news that you can't even process at the time. And ultimately he was born alive, but he passed away just a few minutes after birth. And it was one of those defining moments where I really feel like I ceased to be one person, and for quite a long time I didn't know who I was. And I lost myself as a woman, as a mother, as an artist, a writer, a human being. And I think it's one of those things we don't ever expect it's going to happen to us. And so it was immensely traumatizing, and all I wanted to do was hold my baby.
I'm so sorry to hear that. In that time after, how did you cope?
Well, I would say I didn't cope for quite a long time, actually. I call that year after Zachary passed away my year of distraction, where I did everything but grieve. So I worked as much as I could, weekdays and evenings and weekends, and I took my daughter Hannah, who was 1 at that time, to every child, activity, sports, and like learn to bake at 2 years old, all these things.
You kind of became a super mom.
Yeah, exactly. That idea of like, I just had to try to compensate for like just this emptiness I felt inside. And I felt like everyone thought and I felt this too, that I was the greatest failure as a mom. You're supposed to be able to protect and care for your child and bring them home and give them the best chance at life that you possibly can. And for me, when I lost him, it was like everyone knew that I was imperfect. And in our world of Instagram, everyone looks beautiful all the time. It's so hard because our failures, like, we don't want to announce them. And especially after you've announced I'm having a baby, right? How do you go back from that? It's a difficult thing to navigate.
Right. So why did you decide to write a book about your experience?
So it wasn't until I got pregnant again that I really realized if I didn't face my grief head on and intentionally grieve. I think intentionally grieving is the difference between, how we become zombies and carry our pasts with us in a negative way. So I chose to pull back from work. I chose to get back into art making, which was something that has always been spiritual and creative and amazing, like opening up my life to different things. And through that creative process, I started writing, and it started out as just more of personal kind of ranting. But it evolved into a weekly reflection about loss and motherhood and what it means to be a human and to love, even in the face of loss. And so towards the end of the writing process, I got to this point where I'm like, maybe other people would benefit from this, because I felt so alone after my loss, and I didn't want anybody else to feel that way.
Yeah. Was it hard to be so revealing about something that's so intensely personal? It
was hard. Mostly because I'm very honest and candid that I'm an imperfect person on this journey, and I write about in the book how I don't appreciate my husband's grief, and that's something that's with a second edition that's coming out on May 21st. May 21st. I include a chapter from his perspective. So there's so many things in Expecting Sunshine where I just reveal the gritty, raw pain and my own failures, but at the same time I feel like it gives all of us permission to be real, to like just be who we are and not have to add a filter. Do you know what I mean? Add a filter to our life so that we can just...
The Instagram filter.
Exactly. That we try to stamp on everything. We all look like, we're all okay, but it's okay, because when we share our stories, we can lift each other up, and we're all inspired, and we become stronger through that process.
You know, that is definitely true, but there's such an awkwardness about this subject, the loss of children in utero and otherwise. As a culture, we're just not good at talking about this. Why do you think that is?
Well, for one, I think that like our culture in general has screwed things up majorly, that in general people are uncomfortable with grief and death. Death is looked at as like something to be feared. You know, you wear black, it's dark, but we're all gonna die. And I think that's a terrifying reality for some people. Mm-hmm. But at the heart of it, I've come to believe that death is a beautiful and natural part of life that we should celebrate and commemorate and create memorials and rituals around, and a positive vocabulary. And so that's something that I'm hoping, with being open in my experience, to give people an idea of where to start in talking to people who have lost.
Well, Mother's Day is coming up, so what advice would you give to people who are grieving a loss at this time?
People who are grieving at this time, I would say do what's right for you. You don't have to like go out and do all the Mother's Day stuff, you know, like just be authentic. If you want to stay in your pajamas all day and Netflix binge with ice cream, or in my case, like chocolate chip cookies, whatever it is, just do what is right for you. Like I felt, for so many years, I felt like I had to look and grieve a certain way, and just even in my motherhood, be a certain kind of mother. And it's all BS. Like, we just need to embrace who we are, trust our guts, and follow that.
And what about the people around the grieving parents who don't know what to say or how to act?
I would say sometimes it's better not to say anything at all, because we really don't know what people's trigger points are. And so to be the most compassionate we can, just say, I'm sorry, I'm here for you. I would say bringing food, you know, like those chocolate chip cookies, right? something that is tangible, physical. Maybe it's, you know, we're into spring. Maybe it's mowing that person's lawn, or grabbing some groceries for them. Doing something that is just will help them on the surface, like physical need level, so that they can attend to what's going on inside.
Now, in the introduction to this, I mentioned that you found a way to find hope again. So by the end, you do find that sunshine. I want to know what a rainbow baby is.
Yeah, so a rainbow baby is a term that bereaved parents will call their child that they have after their loss. And it doesn't mean that one child replaces another child, but it means that there is hope at the end of the storm of sorrow. And for me, like, I am so grateful that I was able to have children after my loss. And I thank God for them every single day of my life, because they are my rainbows. They are this light and joy in my life.
That's wonderful. And you made me aware of this, Alexis, so I just want to pass it on. There's a Mother's Day for those who've lost?
Yeah, so it's the first Sunday of every May. And so it just happened last weekend. So it's called International Bereaved Mother's Day. It's kind of started as a grassroots movement by bereaved moms. And it's just an opportunity to honor those mothers who might not even have any living children. So we still can honor their motherhood, that they still have this love that lives on for their child, and also honor that baby that passed away.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's extraordinary. I think it will help a lot of people. Thank you.
Thanks, my pleasure.
Alexis Marie Chute is an author and artist in Edmonton. The second edition of her book, Expecting Sunshine, A Journey of Grief, Healing, and Pregnancy After Loss, comes out this month. And we happen to have 2 copies of this book. We're giving them away. To have them, all you need to do is email us, radioactive@cbc.ca.
It is 10 minutes before 5. I'm Rod Kurtz with a look at traffic. Lots going on.